So let me start, and let me start from the introduction. So I came into quality assurance from the software development project management, and last 3 years I was working in AQA field, mainly because for me it was most interesting field of work now. And as you know, in AQA you need to apply a lot of auxiliary tools. I mean a lot with capital L. So like various programming languages, some virtualization software and environment, specialized testing applications, and data analysis tools, of course. And sometimes it's just overwhelming how many tools you need to know, or you need to use just once and then forget, and so on. However, it isn't enough for me, and currently I faced one additional tool, this artificial intelligence ChatGPT. So let me talk about it and present some scenarios which I'm using currently on daily basis. I started from casual usage and now I fully into it. So the main cases are currently presented here. First is like a kind of artificial memory. You don't want to remember all simple things like I mean, you do need them, but you don't want to remember them. Also, I use it as a source of inspiration, mostly for solving errors which I encounter in my daily work. Sometimes I ask it to solve simple problems, and also, last but not least, use it as a Google to let, for example, to get our references for the questions or topics on the one place, to not collect them somewhere. So the next I will present all of these use cases more deeply. For example, when I'm looking at an error, I just copy paste it into the artificial intelligence and see how it goes. So it gives me some advice, I acting upon it, and after that I ask next question, and so on. If I see that intelligence is giving me just incorrect answer, I give him some more context or just ask it to fix the question. So for example, once Jenkins job gave me the error, and after looking into the logs, I see that the service which I tried to deploy through this job is not really deployed. So I just copy this error and paste it in the ChatGPT. Here I will just briefly show you how my process of solving this problem goes. So the artificial intelligence answered me pretty extensively. So I saw all advices and see that it advised me to delete this deployment and do it again. But I was afraid that I can break something and try to additionally explore some information about this deployment. After that, I've got next error, copy paste it here, and got additional next advice. Here I already understood that something wrong with config map resource, and tried to investigate it further, and found that in order to fix it, I need to delete this config map. But I also was afraid to broke something and ask if I can do it without a deletion. Actually, this question was answered not very helpful, and I asked how to do it other way. In this case, I tried to paraphrase my question, and then I received a pretty interesting command. Then I applied it, and actually I fixed the config map and goes further because it wasn't full solution. I saw that some resources are still presented in the cluster, and I need to find all of them. I asked what kind of resources even can be existing in this deployment, and step by step, I found out and deleted all resources which was preventing me to make a deployment. And after that, deployment went well, and the problem was solved. So it was not very very hard work. However, I was completely new for this work, so I never encountered so extensive interactions with Kubernetes. So yeah, move to next topic. To solve simple problem with ChatGPT. Sometimes I just asking him to generate some code snippets, very simple, and you can specify the language which you want artificial intelligence to do your snippet, and it's like. However, I'm not asking it to generate some sophisticated code. I just asking to make some very simple task which I don't know how to do in Python or in, I don't know, in JavaScript and so on. Also, about regular expressions, some tasks need to be solved with regular expressions. For example, I have this generic token and want to get some value from it, but I see that it would be good to have a regular expression to solve it. So I'm going to the ChatGPT, ask just this, just copy paste what I need to do. You see that all sensitive data here is changed, and voila, it will generate you. Oh, okay, it's unexpected. Yeah, interesting. Let me try it again. It seems that, okay, I will. Sorry. It seems not so easy because let me go further, and sorry for this. Okay, so about artificial memory, sometimes it much more faster to ask the ChatGPT simple question instead of Googling it, because like when you want to edit your file in the VIM, or want to know some hotkeys into your EDE, and for example, you want to export multiple environment variables in one line. So, for example, this task will also be pretty simply solved. ChatGPT will write you a series of steps, and of course, sometimes the software you're using will be updated, and you will not see exact steps here, but however, you will find an inspiration.
Oh, sorry, Vlad.
Is pretty correct. Yeah.
Unfortunately, you've been interrupted. Could you please repeat the last
Okay, sure.
5-10 seconds approximately?
So no problem. You ask him to present you some information in the way you can repeat it, and then you can get your what did you ask for. So for example, some hotkeys, some tips, and some simple things which you don't want to store in your brain. Also, it's very handy to use it as a Google when you want to get all references in one place. And for example, when you don't know anything about in the field you are working, I mean in the field you are facing now, you can just put it in the normal language, and then it will explain that you are right or not. And if you have some doubts in the answer, you can also give it some context and also paraphrase it somehow. Yeah, actually, it helped me a lot of times when I'm facing the new tool, like when I want to change scale in Grafana, when I want to generate webhook into MS Teams channel, or for example, install additional iOS version into Xcode. I'm saying that if you're working with this tool on the daily basis, you just can ask and get your answer pretty quickly. So you also can use it for comparison of and get all reference in one place. For example, if you want to know what is better, Selenium or Playwright, you can just do this pretty simply. And it will list you all things which can be also extended and elaborated. You can ask why Selenium is better, why Playwright is better, and what is pros and cons they have. So it will be in the one place, and you can analyze it and go further from it. Yeah. So in the conclusion, I'll just want to list pros and cons of this tool. So this tool is not absolutely correct, many times incorrect. You need to take it advice with the grain of salt, because you saw how it works, and sometimes it's not working, and sometimes it's working pretty smoothly. You also need to give it more context if you want to get better answers, because sometimes it just don't understand what you want from it. And then you just give it some additional question or additional information, and then it will be much better. Also, I need to tell you that you always must remember that to not post any sensitive data into it, because you know, the sensitive data is only for our clients. And pros, actually, you can ask AI in your normal language. It has a very good natural language processing. It has a huge knowledge base. You can get information with your own deep context. You can give you can give context so deep as you want. And you also can be creative with it. You can ask and see, you can brainstorm with it because it has a, as I already emphasized, it has a huge knowledge base. Actually, prose was written to you by ChatGPT itself. So he knows its prose better. So yeah, my presentation is very simple and quick. If you have questions, please ask. Thank you.
Yeah, we already have a bunch of questions in addition to questions I have personally. So guys, please write down your questions in chat, but let me ask something that we have. So question from Oleg. It looks like you have a ChatGPT Plus subscription. Why are you using default ChatGPT version 3.5 model instead of ChatGPT version 4?
Because the ChatGPT version 4, I'm using like personally because it's limited, how to say, it has a limited ability to answer you, like 10 in an hour or so. But still, actually, I didn't really encountered any significantly betterness from the fourth version. I just using it to support developers, not to get some additional, how to say, profitable from it. ChatGPT 3.5 is very fine.
Okay, let me paraphrase the phrase from Dmitro in chat. So it looks like ChatGPT will replace DevOps engineers. Do you agree with that?
I'm not agree that it will replace. However, I think that DevOps engineers need to use it on the daily basis because it's very helpful. I just showed you just one example, but I used it a lot in this field particularly.
But what if ChatGPT version 5 will be released? Do you think it has a chance to replace DevOps engineers?
If you ask me about the people replacement, I would say that in the recent future, I don't see it because people want to rely on someone to punish someone for the bad job, for example. And ChatGPT, you are unable to held accountable. And in the DevOps field, I think you want to hold someone accountable. For example, I mean, in the recent future, I think in the far future, I see that it might like substitute some of our professions.
Okay. Okay. Questions from Maya. How do you decide whether to trust the info from AI or not in the field you are not familiar with?
You just need to explore more. So if you just completely don't understand what it answers, you need to ask more and see from your conscience how it will answer you. Maybe Google something, just Google. Because recently I found that something should be Googled or Stack Overflow, for example. So it's not a complete solution and not panacea, how to say.
Okay, okay, let's move forward. A question from Tuan. is the newest version of ChatGPT will be better than the oldest one? It's updated the newest in the newest version, isn't it?
No. Currently, if I got question right, 3.4, 3.5 and 4 versions operates on the same database. Mm-hmm. So it's just improved the cognition engine. And I don't have problem with cognition engine from 3.5.
Mm-hmm. So can you just briefly describe the limitation of version 4? So as far as I understood, it has, so it provides you only an hour per day, right?
Yeah. I just can try to switch it like this, and you can see. Yeah, you can just read it from
25
my screen.
messages every 3
hours.
In
3 hours, yes. So that's why I'm not.
It's very limited. It's very limited right now. Okay. So it probably that was the last question. So guys, if you have any questions, you have a last chance to just go on mute, for instance, and ask it by voice. Okay, so that's all for today, guys. Thank you everyone to coming. Hope that was those reports from Yaroslav and Vlad was useful for us. And one small piece of information. So if you have something to say and make the similar or something report you think will be useful for the community, don't feel free to contact us, and we'll let you give you a chance to just make your presentation on the meetup or on the events of our community. Again, thanks everybody, and see you.